Thanks for joining us on National Focus. I'm Jarna Hector. Coming up, the new PMH gets the green light. Government and the People's Republic of China sign off on the rehabilitation of the West Coast Road, and the Dominica Lotteries Commission donates for the Pichler basketball court. Stay with us for details of these and other stories after this.
Think water, think life. Water refreshes, restores, cleans, and enhances growth. Potable water is a benchmark for development. DOWASCO is serious about its mandate to ensure easy access to potable water island-wide and provide sewage services for a cleaner environment. DOWASCO is your water and sewage company.
Thanks for staying with us. The People's Republic of China has made yet another major investment in the economic development of Dominica, this time through the rehabilitation of the West Coast Road. A ceremony to witness the exchange of letters for the commencement of the West Coast Road Rehabilitation Project took place at the Financial Center on Thursday. The ceremony was attended by the Honorable Leader of Dominica, Dr. Roosevelt Skerrit, His Excellency the Ambassador of the People's Republic of China to Dominica, Li Jiangning, Honorable Minister for Public Works and Ports, Senator Miriam Blanchard, other cabinet ministers and government officials. Honorable Prime Minister Dr. Roosevelt Skerrit considers this project a major contribution to the Dominican economy and pledged his government's continued support to the People's Republic of China.
The reconstruction of the 3 bridges, slope stabilization, construction of retaining walls, and associated works is a major contribution to us. And the Chinese government, from the moment the storm affected us, was one of the first countries to be literally on site in respect to its offer of assistance to Dominica. And Ambassador Lee was in regular contact with myself personally and also various ministers to see what else can China assist Dominica. And I could say to you, even before we asked China any assistance, China offered the assistance. And in respect to the West Coast Road, it is the Chinese government that came forward very early to say that the government of China will underwrite the costs associated with the rehabilitation of the West Coast Road. And this is the kind of appreciation and relationship which Dominica enjoys with the People's Republic of China. And they have continued to be very sincere friends of Dominica. And every single commitment the Chinese government has made to us in Dominica, they have kept those promises.
The Honorable Prime Minister expressed his satisfaction with the friendship between the PRC and Dominica. His Excellency the Ambassador of China to Dominica, Li Jiangning, says Dominica has always been of high priority for his country. He continued that in addition to the new National Hospital and the New York Valley Bridge, this new project also signifies China's continued support for Dominica's development.
Because of the urgency, our colleagues in Beijing took an accelerated approach to preparing this project, combining several steps such as feasibility study, etc. Completed on-site survey in January this year, got State Council approval a week ago. We will soon be entering a new phase of the project, namely implementation. Much remains to be done. Cooperation will be very important throughout the whole process, design, review, etc. I believe the 2 sides will continue to work closely together to bring the project to its successful start and eventually its successful completion. The new West Coast Road will facilitate economic activity and tourism in Dominica and will be more flood resistant.
Meanwhile, Honorable Minister for Public Works and Ports, Senator Miriam Blanchard, assured that Thursday's ceremony is a demonstration of government's commitment to rebuilding better.
Shortly, we will sign letters of exchange that lay out in brief the commitments of our respective governments as it relates to the execution of this major project, that is, its implementation modalities and financing. Again, through the generosity of our friends, citizens of this country will witness the rebuilding of damaged sections of the West Coast Road. Indeed, this is being done as a culmination of an engagement of officials representing both countries since Dominica was struck by that horrendous storm Erica. And this assistance is forthcoming in spite of their own challenges. The road project will include the following: replacement of bridges destroyed at McPherson, Battley, and Point Round, as well as a reconstruction of wing walls and railings for the bridge crossing at Coolibistry. Rehabilitation of culvert crossings and drainage infrastructure at Mero, McPherson, Salisbury, Battley, Coolibistry, and Pickard in Portsmouth. Some slope stabilization will also be included. Repair of damaged sections of the road surface in identified areas, including the Jimmet Petro-Caribe Junction, Taru, St. Joseph, Mero, McCushry, Salisbury, Battley, and Scola, Bioche, and Dublin. Replacement of traffic signs, road markings, and reflective road studs will also be included.
The Honorable Minister solicited the further patience of the Dominican public, as it will take some time between the signing ceremony and the actual commencement of the project. In other news, the green light has been given for the construction of the new state-of-the-art hospital. This was revealed by the Honorable Minister for Health, Dr. Kenneth Daru, who was speaking on Kyrie's Hang radio program on Wednesday. On December 11, 2015, a contract was signed between the Ministry of Health and the Hunan Construction Engineering Group of the People's Republic of China for the new hospital. The Honorable Minister noted that building the new hospital on the existing site could be a major challenge for the ministry. Amidst all of this, he says work should begin shortly.
I'm pleased to announce that we have basically dotted all the I's and crossed all the T's as it pertains to our discussions with our Chinese counterparts. You recall that from day one, when after taking over the helm of the Ministry of Health, I would have told the nation that the hospital has been quote-unquote delayed for a number of reasons, because we had to ensure, because first of all, the challenge of building a hospital on a new structure on an existing hospital site that has to continue functioning, that in itself, I mean, from any layperson's point of view, was going to pose challenges. There were also a number of, I wouldn't say issues, a number of discussions as it pertains to some of the facility, the functionality of some. So all of these things have to be reviewed by the experts.
Honorable Daru says approval has been granted to the engineering group to begin the construction of the administrative building on the current site of the PMH.
The Chinese have been granted approval for the construction of the administration building that is at the PMH site. So pretty soon you're going to see structures being set up to get things moving. So with this, Simeon, and within the next few weeks, I can assure Dominicans that we will see the work actually begin at the PMH site of the new hospital, and it's something that we'll be looking forward to. And as I said, I have said a number of occasions that the delays you can lay the delays squarely on the shoulders of the ministry, rather than of course the Minister of Health, because I felt that, as I said, that we had to try to see how we could get a product that was going to that both countries, both the donor country or Chinese friends, and we have to also understand it's a gift. It was a gift. It's going to be a gift from our Chinese friends. So it's a project that was going to be both pleasing to the donor and also to the beneficiary or the recipient, which is Dominica.
The new state-of-the-art hospital will offer a wider range of specialist services and upgraded equipment, in addition to newly trained staff. The Dominica Labour Party government is committed to providing quality health care for all. From 2009 to present, healthcare has been free for individuals under the age of 18 who are at school and those over 65. On Thursday, addressing the signing ceremony of the West Coast Road Rehabilitation Project, Honorable Prime Minister Dr. Roosevelt Skerritt announced that the groundbreaking ceremony for the new hospital will take place on August 8, 2016. You're watching National Focus. More when we return.
Introducing the Government of Dominica Internal Directory mobile app, available for download from the Google Play Store, One Mobile Market, and the Government of Dominica's website. Access to all ministries and sub-departments' phone, email and office addresses and websites. Simply select a ministry and the sub-department. You can dial directly from the app or save the numbers to your phone contacts. It's convenience at your fingertips. Is my passport ready for pickup? Good. It really works. Download the Government of Dominica Internal Directory mobile app today.
Welcome back. The community of Pishley will soon boast not only a fully refurbished basketball court, but state-of-the-art scoring equipment as well as shot clocks. At a handing over ceremony on Thursday, the Dominica Lotteries Commission donated more than $15,000 to the Pishley Sports Club. Honorable Parliamentary Representative for the community, Dr. Kenneth Daru, expressed his appreciation to the DLC.
But I would just like to thank the National Lotteries Commission for, of course, reaching out to me when I did request the assistance. And as you can see, we've invested quite heavily in this basketball court. We're hoping that it will be more than just a basketball court. We'll also be able to play volleyball and maybe a couple other court spots. But today the attention is on the basketball. We know that the Pishley basketball team, the Falcons, they're unbeaten in this year's tournament, and I really would like to congratulate them. And in fact, they motivate me to continue doing more for them to develop this basketball court at this little mini sporting complex. The plan, of course, is that we can continue to develop this court until, and I want to give my commitment that I wouldn't rest until this becomes the #1 sporting facility, the #1 court in the island. And we're hoping, of course, that with the advent of all the investment that we're making in this court, that we can catch the attention of the Dominica Basketball Association. And of course, we would be able to host some games.
The Honorable MP believes that this will have a positive impact on the community.
This in itself is going to augur very well for the Pishley community. You can imagine national games and maybe even regional games hosted there, what it's going to do for the local economy. Of course, put Pishley on the sporting map, get people to come to Pishley, get people to spend their money in Pishley, etc.
Last month, at the 11th inaugural meeting of the Pishley Village Council, the Honorable Prime Minister Dr. Roosevelt Skerrit committed to assisting the community by providing funds to enhance the basketball court, as well as to construct washrooms and changing rooms.
To date, we've spent quite a large sum of money in getting it to where it is today. We would have spent somewhere in the region of $40,000–50,000 in concrete works to get it expanded, etc. The fencing. We would have spent another sum, probably maybe $20,000 to order some of the backboards, as it consisted of the backboards and the surfacing material, etc.
Dr. Daru says there is more to come.
As we speak, there should be an additional $35,000 on the way, or hopefully already in the coffers of the Pishley Village Council. This would be the fulfillment of a commitment made by the Prime Minister a couple months ago, on this very spot at the inauguration of the Pishley Village Council. Now, this $45,000, and I really want to thank, of course, the Minister of Finance, Prime Minister, for this generous offer, will go towards the construction of washroom facilities. As time goes by, we'll see. Of course, the ultimate goal would be to see how we can even get this developed into an indoor facility, covers, etc. Of course, this might be medium, long-term goal, but our ambitions are limitless in terms of developing this court. And they've made quite a start. And I think as a member of parliament, I'm very pleased. I think one of the things that motivates me the most, apart of course from their superb skills in basketball, and they're doing exceptionally well. One of the things that motivates me to help them more to get this to be the ultimate sporting facility or basketball court in Dominica is that they have been willing and they have been putting their equity into the project. They have not waited on financing or help from the government at every little step of the way. In fact, this surface was laid by themselves, and they set up their rims themselves, they did the markings, everything themselves. And even when we did the concrete works, the original concrete works to expand the court, get it level, etc., they would have put in man hours, etc. So this by itself motivates me to continue to see how we can develop this basketball court and this sporting facility a bit more.
Dominica Lotteries Commission board member Sam Martin spoke on behalf of the commission.
It is really indeed a pleasure to be here this morning, and on behalf of the Lotteries Commission, we are going to present over $15,000 to the sports committee. And I must say that Lotteries has been supporting sports and culture on island, and we continue to fulfill that mandate. And although it's not for me to say, but I must say when I got here, I was very, very much impressed. And I must commend the Sports Council and the PAL rep and all those who have put their efforts into doing all what is there.
He handed over the check to member of the Pishley Sports Club, Yannick Regist. A few members of the Pishless Sports Club also shared their appreciation.
I would like to personally thank the National Lotteries Commission, Mr. Monroe and Mr. Martin, for making this wonderful contribution. We appreciate it and will surely go to great use. I want to thank, of course, Dr. Darrow, Parliamentary Representative, who has lobbied so much for us, who's pushed so much for us, and put great effort in not just the basketball court, but the resource center and other facilities as you can see behind there. It's something that we greatly appreciate. And this area is something of great importance to Pishless because this is the actual hub. Everything happens here. We have our basketball court, our Catholic church, we have the health center, we have the resource center, we have, which also houses the magistrate court presently. Everything happens here. So this is extremely important to us, and I'm sure I can speak on behalf of the people of Pishless that we greatly appreciate this.
I came here to say thank you to the Lottery Commission once again, and thank you to Dr. Darrow as well for his continuous support of the sports club and the basketball team on our whole. Right now we are going to use these funds to see if we get a proper shot clock and a proper scoring clock, as well as continuous efforts to fix up the court in any other manner we see fit. The team is very excited. The Pishless on a whole is very excited. We're looking at this area here and it looks very much promising, and we can have some games here very soon. The team is on a playoff run right now, so hopefully we can have some games in here maybe by next month. So everything is looking promising right now, and we can continue to improve this facility in the future.
We just really want to thank Mr. Dr. Darrow for not just investing in us, but believing in us and the things we stand for and the things that we are pushing for. We also want to thank the National Lottery Committee for also investing in us and pushing for what we believe in. What I believe is not just they are investing in Pishless Sports Club, but they are investing in sports and the well-being of the youth coming up. And we really do appreciate that. We are also hosting some youth academies for the kids, not just to teach them in basketball, but teach them discipline, give them knowledge of the importance of school and everything, so that it won't just be a sure thing for the sports future, but also for the general future for Dominica. And we really do appreciate that, and we really do hope that people will keep on investing not just in the Falcons, but in all the other sports clubs and all the other people who are pushing to get a brighter future for Dominica.
The Honorable Parliamentary Representative joined his constituents for a friendly game of basketball. Every month, part of the profits of the National Lottery is set aside specifically for granting financial assistance to promote youth and sports development in Dominica. President of the Dominica Association of Teachers, Celia Nicholas, is encouraging the Ministry of Education to look into implementing the UN recommendations to improve the teaching profession. Those recommendations came ahead of World Teachers Day 2016. Nicholas was speaking at the opening ceremony of the Dominica Association of Teachers annual Teachers Summer Workshop on Monday.
This year's theme for World Teachers Day, which we observe in the first Friday in October in Dominica, the day declared by the United Nations is the 5th of October, but for our purposes we have it on the first Friday, and we are very happy that the Ministry of Education has it as a permanent fixture on its timetable. And we are going to Saint-Sauveur this year, already we are telling you, so get ready for Saint-Sauveur. We're in sympathy with the territories that were affected by tropical storm. They did not have too much damage, but they did have damage. So this is where we are going to be. And the theme for this year's World Teachers Day is Valuing Teachers, Improving Their Status. And this year the United Nations is going to look and is encouraging all the countries in the world to revisit the recommendations for the improvement of the teaching profession. These recommendations were made about 50 years ago. And they're asking all the countries, including the Commonwealth of Dominica, to give serious attention to the articles which have been outlined by those recommendations.
She hopes that the recommendations will receive the proper attention.
For us in Dominica, I would think that looking at all the recommendations which have been made by consultants and consultancies which have been commissioned by the Commonwealth of Dominica and by the line ministry, the Ministry of Education, that will pay attention to those recommendations. Those recommendations are tantamount to the theme valuing our teachers, improving the status. We know by analysis and by research and by economic analysis that if we do not have a well-trained and a well-tutored population, what happens to the economy of the country? The growth and the wealth of any country, they are linked to the level of education of its individual. And where do the level of education comes from? From, as the minister rightly said, from the dedicated teachers who are here.
Coming up, your Creole highlights with McPherson St. Luce.
Alors tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole, non moins c'est McPherson St. Luce. Premièrement, bagay développement chimique à en place en constituency Maho. Parole cela sorti en parlement Honorable Ribbon Blackmore. Sinon, Honorable Blackmore, gouvernement a dépensé on lot l'argent à ces projets comme ça tout en pays là.
Comme ça va présent, tout à l'heure, moi fait parole aussi. Là, nous avons mis un pile matériel sur le chemin, go travail comme ça. Mais il y a un pile fois, moun en communauté, ni bien ouais. Ou ni moun qui a resté en place, pour les pièces chemin, moun qui en l'âge, par ça taper un boss et un voiture pour mener une bouteille de gaz, pour mener des groceries comme ça. Ça nous a travaillé faire en constituency Mao. C'est pour faire certain, nous avons mis des barrages comme chimie, c'est pour mon anti rural community, barrages comme marche, avec nous avons bâti barrages comme pont. Après nous avons place un scope à Mao. Ça c'est en place où la montre à le jebol, avec mon comme Moving Thomas. Après nous avons pile monde bâti Kaila, mais là pas de pêche chimie. Si nous avons fait chimie ça, c'est monde ça, ils sont bien contents.
À la nouvelle, travail construction, on pense à créer un footpath bâti en communauté Saint-Joseph. Si l'homme en parlement, Honorable Kelva Darrow, projet celle-là est bien nécessaire quand Erika est bien dommagé. Honorable Darrow, bien plaisir pour projet celle-là.
Le Erika passé, Hot Saint-Jo, Erika, live Saint-Jo, il mène des emploi en place nous qui Ochobando, Hot Saint-Jo. Et puis, ça nous fait, nous engageons un contracteur, Mr. Jerry Richards, et puis il travaille well pour faire un poids, pour replacer poids là qui, poids là, live là, à l'épi, et puis, projet ça là complete, il était cost gouvernement $114,000 pour faire projet ça là, et puis, je dis bien merci pour le contracteur là, qui fait un bon job, hot projet ça là, et puis actuellement, c'est mon Saint-Jo qui pour aller hot live là, il y a un poids pour passer hot. So moi dis bien merci pour projet ça là, il était un projet mon ticamane pour et puis actuellement nous fait projet ça là et puis moi bien merci projet ça là fait hot Saint-Jo.
Et puis finalement, changement qui DASPA a implémenté par mon taxi en basse avion Douglas Charles, qui a marché en bas certaines conditions. Parole ça la sortie au General Manager DASPA, M. Benoît Badwell.
Nous voulons rencontrer, si vous voulez faire business à ces airports là, depuis le monde, et puis moi je dis vraiment, comme que si vous venez pour une famille à ces basse avion, vous partez, là ça ne va pas parler bas. Parce que vous savez, pour une famille, si on voisine, n'importe monde vient, vous savez acheter. Parce que les gens viennent, ils ne peuvent pas payer. Mais depuis vous avez fait business, et puis les gens pour payer pour venir sortir en bas avion, loi dit on pour une licence, on pour un permis pour faire ça. Si vous prenez un permis, nous sommes mis devant l'audience.
Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelle en créole pour à présent. Non, moi c'est McPherson St. Louis. Au revoir.
Before we leave, here is one announcement. All pensioners, including persons receiving the non-contributory social pension assistance, are requested to submit a life certificate to the Treasury Department before July 22nd. The form can be obtained at the Treasury Office in Roseau, the sub-treasuries in Portsmouth and Marigot, or on the government website dominica.gov.dm. Coming up next, today's tip. To conserve energy at home, match your pot size to the burner on your stove. Heat is lost when small pots are used on large burners. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website news.gov.dm. Like our Facebook page, facebook.com/GIS News Dominica, and follow our Twitter at GIS Dominica. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. Live streaming is also available on our YouTube channel 24 hours a day. From all of us here on the GIS News production team, I'm Jarna Hector. Thank you for watching and join us again next time on National Focus.